what we think has happened is that part of a glacier, the lower part of a glacier tongue, up at about 5,000 meters high up in the Nepalese Himalaya, has broken off, and that ice has then cascaded, fallen about 1,300 meters into the valley below, and it's probably mixed with lots of other dead and decaying bits of glacier ice and debris and boulders, which are very common in these kinds of environments. And they're sort of added, if you like, to the mass of material that's moved downstream. And so you've ended up with this catastrophic debris flow, essentially, really sediment-rich floodwater that then moves down valley. How common are these events? I think you asked. We've seen a number of these events in recent years. So there was a very similar event back in 2021 in the Indian Himalaya at a place called Chamoli, where, again, ice and rock fell from a very high peak, about 1,800 meters into the valley below, and I think killed about 200 people and destroyed 2 hydropower stations. We've seen just last year in the Swiss Alps, the village of Blatten was buried by a glacier collapse. So there's been a number of these events in recent years, unfortunately.
And does the topography of that region make the impact all the worse? I mean, we've got incredibly high mountains and deep, narrow valleys. Does that mean that communities are even more vulnerable?
Yeah, so I mean, you've got as you say, you've got very steep, very high topography. So you've got, lots of, glacier ice potentially becoming more unstable in a warming climate, sitting high above the valleys below. So there's a lot of potential energy there that can be converted into a flood if any of that ice falls off these mountainsides, and then it's channeled through, as you're showing on the screen right now, these pretty narrow river valley. And so you're sort of getting this funneling effect of all of this, these boulders and debris and water and bits of buildings that are then barreling along these relatively narrow river valleys. And there's really, in some instances, very little hope for escape, as some of the other images, the awful images that you've shown already.
And compounded by the fact that there seems to have been so little warning. Would there be any warning of a major event like this?
I don't know that there was any specific early warning system in place for this region. I mean, the images that you're showing right now with this building being completely enveloped by this flood wave, that's just a few kilometers downstream from where this ice avalanche took place. And I mean, I think even if an early warning system had been available in that particular location, it would have given them a matter of minutes. And you need a network of meteorological stations to monitor whether there's been heavy rainfall or high temperatures that could have loosened things up in these cold environments. You need time-lapse cameras. You need an array of seismometers that can measure seismic shaking. And then you need that information needs to be verified and then sent to some sort of warning, presumably through people's mobile phones. So again, you then need good cell phone coverage as well. So in that particular instance, sort of closer to the source of this ice avalanche, that they probably would have just had a few minutes. Further downstream, an early warning system may be more helpful in terms of giving people fair warning and opportunity to evacuate. But these are very challenging environments, as you mentioned, and early warning systems are relatively rare, and they need a lot of investment. They need a lot of maintenance and training, and I'm not sure that's the case in many locations. And of course, this is a vast mountain range with lots of potentially dangerous hanging glaciers and lakes that could burst and landslides and so on.
Indeed. Well, Dr. Simon Cook, we appreciate you talking to us this morning and giving your analysis on this tragedy in Nepal. Thank you.